I've been hiding from everyone to restore my parents' police badge numbers. But my sister and girlfriend, who swore they'd love me forever, still don't know about this. They're still waiting for me to apologize to that poor college student 100 times. They've calculated everything perfectly, planning to confess to me the day I apologize. That actually, every time they showed favoritism, was just to repay that poor student for saving their lives. Just 1 month after I accepted my mission, the two of them happily cooked dinner waiting for me to come home. Then told me that finally they didn't need to favor anyone anymore. That we could live happily like before. But what they'll receive instead is news of my death. In the martyrs' cemetery, each gravestone under the sunlight stands solemn and reverent. I set down the bouquet in my hands, looking at my parents' black and white photos, tears welling up in my eyes. Captain Taylor from the city's police protection unit looks at his colleagues. His expression no longer kind as usual, but cold and serious. Ryan, are you absolutely certain you want to restore your parents' badge numbers? Your parents were heroes who sacrificed themselves for their country. They died without regrets. But as parents, they certainly wouldn't want you to follow this same path. Not to mention if your sister and girlfriend found out. They definitely wouldn't agree. Captain Taylor, I understand better than anyone the principle that country comes before family. You know I've always taken my parents as role models, determined to contribute my strength to our nation and society. You helped review my police academy application. You should understand me best. Saying these words, my voice is resolute, my face filled with unwavering determination. After a moment of contemplation, Captain Taylor sighs. Since you're determined, I won't try to dissuade you anymore. Undercover officers must remain anonymous. Your entire current identity can no longer be used. I'll quickly arrange a staged death to make this identity of yours completely disappear from the world. Prepare yourself. Just wait for my notification. My wish fulfilled. The stone in my heart finally drops. I bow to this respected senior. Then slowly leave. Returning home, the usually quiet living room has an especially heavy atmosphere today. My sister Emma Morgan and my girlfriend Sophie Lane sit on the sofa, their expressions incredibly gloomy. Beside them, Tyler Nash, with his hair cut short like a bird's nest, is whispering complaints. Ms. Morgan, Ms. Lane, please don't blame Ryan. I know he didn't mean to cut my hair like this. It's all my fault for making him angry. So he took out all his rage on me. Seeing his aggrieved, pleading expression, my sister gets even angrier, her voice full of fury. You don't need to defend him. Sophie and I know his spoiled rich boy temperament best. Don't worry. Today we'll definitely get justice for you. Emma Morgan also shows her stance. Then coldly looks at me. Her voice stern. Ryan Morgan, look what you've done. Apologize to Tyler right now. Seeing the smug smile flash across Tyler Nash's face, I remain silent with a dark expression. I haven't seen Tyler Nash these past few days. How could I suddenly cut his hair? This is clearly another one of Tyler Nash's self-directed false accusations. But I don't explain, because I know no matter how wrongly I'm accused, as long as Tyler Nash speaks, my sister and girlfriend will believe him. Sure enough, seeing my indifferent expression, Emma Morgan gets even angrier. I see you've become completely lawless. Sophie, have someone hold him down. I look at them in disbelief. Before I can say anything, Sophie Lane has already ordered people to hold me tight, making me unable to move, while Emma Morgan picks up scissors, without any mercy, cuts off my hair. Looking at my hair falling to the ground, I only feel a sudden sharp pain in my heart. I remember when I was young, Emma Morgan clumsily combing my hair, saying she was my sister, and would definitely take good care of me in the future. After our parents sacrificed themselves on duty, only the two of us siblings were left in the Morgan family. My sister Emma Morgan built everything from nothing alone, raised me, loved me with all her heart. When I was 15, she introduced me to her best friend, Sophie Lane. Sophie Lane fell in love with me at first sight, eagerly confessed when I came of age, becoming my official girlfriend. From then on, I had two women who loved me unconditionally. They indulged me in everything. Except one thing. Afraid I'd repeat our parents' fate. They wouldn't let me apply to the police academy. But I still secretly hid from them and applied to the police academy, concealing 4 years of study, just hoping one day to restore my parents' badge numbers. Now that I've graduated, I hesitate, not knowing how to tell them about enlisting. Until Tyler Nash appeared, I discovered I no longer needed to say goodbye to them. Tyler Nash is a poor student sponsored by Morgan Corporation. The corporation sponsors hundreds of thousands of poor students each year. But Tyler Nash is the only one who came to our home to express gratitude. Not only that, he also found a way to work at Morgan Corporation, and grew increasingly close to Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane. The first time I met Tyler Nash again, I already disliked him, feeling he was very calculating. And Tyler Nash's subsequent behavior only proved this further. He not only likes to play pitiful, countless times falsely accusing me of hurting him. Even during last year's major earthquake, he stole credit for my actions. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane both think Tyler Nash risked his life to save them, which is why they've been taking care of him ever since. But at that time, to save them, my legs were torn to shreds by rocks and debris. My fingers clearly broken by falling stones. That was me. It's just that after saving them, I collapsed from exhaustion, and Tyler Nash ultimately took the credit, being falsely accused time after time. I've long grown cold. So, I didn't plan to tell them about restoring my parents' badge numbers either. Still, I never expected they would, because of Tyler Nash's casual accusations, heartlessly cut my hair like this. Hair falls to the ground. Sophie Lane lets go. Emma Morgan also throws down the scissors. Then both go to comfort Tyler Nash and take him to dinner, never looking at me once from start to finish. Watching their retreating backs, I collapse among the hair clippings, laughing in pain. Waking up the next morning, I just open my bedroom door to find Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane waiting outside, frowning at me. Ryan, don't throw these spoiled tantrums anymore. Tyler is our Morgan family's lifesaver. You need to treat him well. The person we love most will always be you. Being good to him is just to repay his kindness. Don't be so pointlessly jealous. I've heard these words so many times over the past year, I'm sick of them. I move my lips, saying a number. 95. The two women look at each other, asking in unison, 95 what? I quietly look at them, my voice as still as undisturbed water. Emma Morgan, Sophie Lane. This is the 95th time you've hurt me for Tyler Nash's sake. By the 100th time, the person you claim to love most will be completely dead. Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's faces turn pale. Ryan, don't say such ominous things. I smile lightly, my voice utterly sincere. I'm not joking. Emma Morgan still thinks I'm throwing a tantrum. Frowning slightly, you're so well protected by Sophie and me. Who would dare touch you? What could possibly happen? Where did you go yesterday? Why did you come home so late? Sophie Lane senses something's wrong, adding another question. I'm about to speak, when the phone rings, cutting me off. Seeing it's Tyler Nash's call, Emma Morgan hurriedly answers. Very quickly, his aggrieved voice comes through. Ms. Morgan, I've tried everything to make Ryan happy, but he still won't accept me. So I can only leave. My resignation letter is on your desk. I'm going back to my hometown today. Goodbye. Hearing this, both women can't stand still, hurrying to the company, watching their rushed backs disappear through the door. I mock myself, quietly returning to my room. I sort and organize everything, then throw it all in the trash one by one. Gifts Emma Morgan bought for me. Couple items Sophie Lane bought. Photos of the three of us together. I keep nothing. Busy all day. By evening, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan bring Tyler Nash back. Seeing me, the two immediately scold with cold faces. Ryan, why did you have someone splash paint on Tyler's house? He has nowhere to live. You've forced him to resign. If Sophie and I hadn't desperately convinced him to come back, he would have really gone back to his hometown. When will you stop causing trouble? You used to be so obedient and understanding. Why have you become so malicious these past few years? Am I the one who's changed? Isn't it them? Looking at their indignant expressions. My eyes are filled with deep exhaustion. I don't want to give useless explanations anymore. My silence in the two women's eyes is an admission. Emma Morgan coldly says, Tyler's house is now unlivable because of you. He'll have to stay at our place for a while. You caused this mess. Your room is the best. As punishment, you give your room to Tyler. I glance at him, not wanting to argue. Directly placing the key on the table. Without hesitation. Fine, I'm leaving soon anyway. Then, Sophie Lane frowns. Tyler is allergic to pollen. From now on, no fresh flowers in the house. I also look at her. Then call the butler over. Telling him to overnight uproot the entire rose garden in the back. Back then, because I liked roses. Sophie Lane planted an entire rose garden in the back. Now that I've decided to break up with her. These proofs of our love were meant to be uprooted anyway. After doing all this, the two still aren't satisfied, continuing. Tyler is a light sleeper, can't stand noise. Mimi is too loud. From now on you can't let her out. Mimi is the cat they gave me years ago. To cheer me up, she's been my companion for a long time. 2 hours later, the pet agency staff arrives. I send away the cat I've raised for 5 years. Seeing my compliant attitude, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan both sense something's wrong. I don't explain anything. Going upstairs alone, looking at the new, empty room. I feel an indescribable relief. Since I'm leaving soon anyway, these things needed to be cleared out. I don't want to leave any trace of myself behind. Late at night, continuous knocking breaks the silence. Awakened, I just open the door to see Tyler Nash. He raises his hand, showing off the luxury limited edition watch on his wrist. His face full of smugness. Ryan, Ms. Morgan gave me this morning. But I don't know brands well. Can you help me see what style this is? How much it's worth? While waiting to leave, I don't want any connection with him. So seeing it's him from the first glance when opening the door, I plan to close it again. But that watch makes my pupils contract. It's the last memento our parents left for us siblings. One thing is, why would Emma Morgan give it to an outsider? How could she give you this watch? Give it back. My expression changes drastically, instinctively wanting to take back the watch. Seeing me reach out, Tyler Nash shows a triumphant smile on his face. Turning to run away, I chase after him trying to call him back, then see him smugly smiling at me. Before letting go and rolling down the stairs, a loud thud sounds, immediately alerting Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan, who were discussing work in the study. The two see Tyler Nash lying in a pool of blood, barely conscious. Their faces full of horror. Sophie Lane rushes downstairs, embracing him. Tyler, wake up, wake up. Emma Morgan directly grabs my hand, loudly questioning. I knew you were only pretending to comply yesterday. Turning around to find ways to bully Tyler. Ryan Morgan, you really disappoint me. Tyler Nash's injuries are serious. There's no time to delay. The two hurriedly drive him to the hospital. Before leaving they forcibly drag me along, making me apologize to Tyler Nash immediately. Tyler Nash has just been wheeled into surgery. When a nurse anxiously runs out from the operating room, the patient has lost too much blood. Who has Rh-negative blood type? Almost immediately, Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane grab my hands. My heart burns with anger, decisively pulling my hands away. I won't donate. Why should I give him blood? His fall was self-directed. Both are provoked to burning rage by me. Emma Morgan takes off the watch, holding it up threateningly. Ryan Morgan, if you don't go, I'll smash this watch. As an apology to Tyler. If you don't go, if something happens to Tyler, we'll call off our engagement. The two speak in unison. For a self-directing schemer, venting their dissatisfaction, I feel struck by lightning. My chest filled with jade stones. Unable to breathe for a long time. The pain almost explosive. I stare at Emma Morgan, choking up. So you really did give him our parents' memento? Then I look at Sophie Lane. My eye sockets terrifyingly red. So in your heart, our years of feelings aren't even worth one Tyler Nash? The two women are silenced by my words. Before they can speak, I suddenly snatch the watch from Emma Morgan's hand. Word by word. You too remember well. This is the 96th time. In the end I donate 600 cc of blood. Resting for a long time before leaving the ward. My legs weak as jelly. Needing support. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane still won't let me leave. Insisting on waiting until Tyler Nash wakes up to feel at ease. I don't leave the hospital until the next morning. I hold the railing slowly going down the stairs. Just reaching the intersection when I receive a message from Tyler Nash. How does it feel to be wrongly accused with no way to explain? Ryan Morgan, you'll never beat me in this lifetime. They're not on your side. You must be in so much pain, right? It's okay. I've prepared a surprise gift for you, remember to accept it. Surprise? Remembering the pranks and schemes he's designed before. My heart sinks. I touch the needle mark on my hand. About to hail a taxi. When a speeding car comes rushing straight at me. I can't dodge in time. My whole body like a kite with its string cut. Flying several meters away. Pain transmits from all over my body. Making me feel torn apart. My consciousness becomes hazy and confused. In my coma, I feel someone taking me to the operating room. Noisy voices surround me. That Nash guy clearly woke up yesterday. Nothing's wrong with him now. But he keeps saying this hurts and that's uncomfortable. Making Ms. Morgan and Ms. Lane monopolize the hospital. Sending all available surgeons to examine him. Now this Morgan guy suddenly has a car accident. There's not a single surgeon available. What do we do now? Quickly go ask. Can we get a surgeon to come for surgery? 10 minutes later someone runs back. Voice full of helplessness. They won't agree. Telling us to transfer the injured to another hospital. They also said they'll cover all expenses. Transfer? He's so badly injured. How can he withstand a transfer? So only that Nash guy's life matters. Everyone else's life doesn't matter? Noisy arguing fills my ears. Yet I feel I can't hear anything clearly. Fog fills my vision. Suddenly seeing the past. Back then when I just had a slight cold and fever. Emma Morgan worried endlessly. Inviting many doctors to examine me. Sophie Lane wouldn't leave my side for a moment. Taking the same medicine with me. Just to cheer me up. But that was all a very, very long time ago. Now I'm on the edge of life and death. With no one beside me. Not even a single doctor. My eyelids become heavy as if filled with lead. My will to resist gradually dissipating. Before completely losing consciousness, I only leave one vague sentence. The 97th time. When I wake up, I see two faces full of regret. Emma Morgan helps rub my back. Her voice carrying apology. Ryan, I'm sorry. We didn't know you had a car accident. Sophie Lane brings a cup of hot water for me to drink. The heartache in her eyes about to overflow. Weren't you fine when you left? How did you get hit? Remembering the messages received before the accident. I just opened my eyes, voice hoarse. Tyler Nash. Meaning it was all Tyler Nash's doing. Emma Morgan's expression. And Sophie Lane's both freeze. Immediately becoming gloomy. Ryan, why are you still falsely accusing Tyler? He's a young man from the mountains. How could he arrange something like this? That's right, Tyler is still hospitalized. How would he have time to harm you? Looking at their absolutely trusting expressions. I don't want to waste words. I close my eyes, voice full of exhaustion. I'm tired. Please leave, there's nothing more to explain. The two see my pale complexion. Finally swallowing their words. They leave the ward one after another. A few minutes later, my phone on the table rings. Ryan, everything's been arranged here. We'll depart in about a week. Understood. I follow. The organization's orders, ready to leave anytime. Just as I finish speaking, the door is pushed open. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane frown as they enter. Faces full of suspicion looking at me. Leave for what? Where are you going? I calmly hang up the phone. I was asking about discharge. Why did you come back? Sophie Lane forgot her car keys. Wants to ask more, but is urgently called away by a nurse rushing in. Ms. Morgan, Ms. Lane. Mr. Nash just threw up. Watching their backs leave without stopping. I laugh quietly. In the following days, the two women rarely appear. Even when they occasionally visit, sitting for just a moment. They find excuses to leave. I know they're still taking care of Tyler Nash. After all, every day I receive all kinds of photos and videos he sends. Emma Morgan will personally cook chicken soup for him. Sophie Lane will blow each spoonful cool to feed him. Limited edition player shoes bought to cheer him up. Fill more than half the ward. I watch quietly, never replying to a single message. I don't say goodbye to anyone. Leaving the hospital alone. Just arriving at the door, as I'm entering the password. A truck suddenly stops behind me. 4 masked men knock me unconscious with a stick. I don't know how long passes. I open my eyes to see Tyler Nash. He presses on the screen for a moment, looking over with a face full of arrogance. Good, you're awake. I just sent a message to Ms. Lane and Ms. Morgan, saying you and my colleague were kidnapped. Mr. Morgan, guess who they care about most? Hearing this, I stare at Tyler Nash, really wanting to ask him why he keeps playing these boring games. But my mouth is gagged. I can't make any sound except MMPH. My body hasn't recovered, even less able to escape the bonds on me. A few minutes later, the kidnappers in the back seat with covered faces bring Tyler Nash to the car and tie him up. The door opens, I see ahead a rushing river, and several sports cars speeding toward us not far away. After Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane get out, Tyler Nash immediately changes to a pitiful expression. The kidnappers also timely pull out knives, pointing at both our necks. Did you bring the money? Sophie Lane has someone throw over a dozen boxes on the ground. Expression gloomy. 30 million as you requested. Not a penny less. Let them go. The kidnappers look at each other, snorting coldly. Our condition is 30 million per person. Only saves one person. You choose. In the cold wind, I see across from us. Both women's faces become incredibly ugly. Emma Morgan can't help her anger, but doesn't dare provoke them. Can only suppress her rage to negotiate. Wait another half hour. The other 30 million will be sent immediately. Can't wait. Who knows if you'll call the police. Quickly choose one person first. The other we'll throw in the river to feed the fish. Tyler Nash cries even more pitifully, struggling non-stop. The kidnapper removes his gag. Ms. Lane. Ms. Morgan, save me. I can't swim. And I don't want to die. Provoked to fury, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan keep negotiating, trying to add conditions. Watching this excellent drama, I remain calm throughout. The kidnappers still won't agree, even starting to count down. Both women's faces are full of struggle, their gazes constantly hesitating between the tied Tyler Nash and me. When the countdown reaches 3, half the men's bodies are already pushed out over the river. Tyler Nash lets out a blood-curdling scream. Emma Morgan finally can't keep calm, shouting, "Save Tyler first. He once saved us, we must repay him first. Ryan, trust me. I'll definitely save you." Sophie Lane's face is also full of determination, adding, "Tyler can't swim. Ryan, don't worry. Immediately, we'll come save you immediately." Seeing their guilty expressions, not daring to look straight at me, the calm on my face finally breaks. From when they hesitated, I already predicted this result. But now hearing them say this result themselves, I only feel the last ray of hope in my heart also severed. I can't help but laugh, my eyes filled with endless sorrow. After choosing, Tyler Nash is pushed to the ground. I'm pushed off the high bridge. I watch the two women run together toward Tyler Nash, desperately closing my eyes. The cold wind cuts into my skin like knives, not drawing blood, but I feel like I'm being flayed alive. Dense pain, occupying every corner of my body, making me hurt so much I don't want to live. In an instant, many images flash through my mind. Painful collapse. When our parents died, my sister holding me crying in agony before their graves. She said she would always protect me. The day of confession, Sophie Lane holding a large bouquet of roses and a love letter, saying she'd love me forever no matter what happened. Last New Year's Eve we raised our glasses together, saying the three of us would go through many, many more years together. Just like that, we've split apart. The icy river water pulls me down, my consciousness growing hazier, my strength gradually depleting. smelling the familiar scent of disinfectant. I know I'm back in the hospital. I feel my whole body falling apart, struggling to open my eyes, facing two gazes full of concern. Ryan, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have let you leave the hospital alone. If you want to blame someone, blame me, Tyler. He's an innocent victim. Ryan, forgive me, okay? When you fell in the water, we jumped in immediately. Tyler can't swim, and he has done us a favor. We didn't dare take the risk, so I could only let you suffer. I promise there absolutely won't be a next time. I've heard these words so many times over the past year I'm sick of them. I don't vent dissatisfaction, nor have the strength to question. Mumbling one sentence, voice too small to hear clearly. The 98th time, after resting for a day, I finally return home safely. Just opening the door, I see the living room decorated with balloons. Only then remembering today is my birthday. Sophie Lane personally presents a cake. Emma Morgan takes off her apron after cooking a whole table of food. Celebrating my birthday like every year. But on my face, there's not a hint of joy. Just mechanically sitting at the table listening to the birthday song. Blowing out the candles. Just about to make a wish. The door slams open. Tyler Nash, soaking wet with red eyes, looks at the scene in the house. Pitifully speaks, Ms. Morgan. Ms. Lane, so you're celebrating Ryan's birthday. I wanted to tell you something important. Since you're both busy, I won't bother you anymore. With that, he runs outside. Without hesitation, both women immediately stand up. My heart turns to ash. I don't hold them back. Calmly closing my eyes to continue making my wish. I wish Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan will be safe and sound from now on. Without me, without sorrow. That evening I see Tyler Nash post on social media. A photo at the hospital. The two women devotedly guarding him on either side. Caption. With just one word from me, you'll drop everything to be by my side. I calmly turn off my phone. Turning to go upstairs. The next second the door opens. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane both look gloomy. Faces full of exhaustion, as if something major has happened. Thinking of Tyler Nash's social media post. At the hospital, a bad feeling suddenly rises in my heart. Sure enough, the next second Emma Morgan walks toward me. Ryan, Tyler has cancer. Cancer? Hearing this, I'm not surprised at all. It's not that I'm cold. But I've already seen through all of Tyler Nash's charades. He's currently enjoying these two women's love. Why would he suddenly get cancer? Of course there's a purpose. Sure enough, the next second, I hear Emma Morgan continue. During that earthquake, Tyler risked his life to save Sophie and me. That's how we survived. I already consider him my real brother. Now that he has this terminal illness, his only wish is for Sophie to accompany him on his final journey. To have a fake wedding. Hearing this, my mind goes momentarily blank. My first reaction is to look at Sophie Lane, who's been silent since entering. Not saying a word. I agreed. Sophie Lane's voice is hoarse. Ryan. I speak flatly. I understand. Saving a life is more meritorious than building 7 pagodas. You two do as you wish. Seeing me agree so quickly, Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane show both shocked and pleased expressions. The two don't think much of it. Just praise me a few times. Then hurry away. I watch their backs, laughing softly. Can a wedding really be fake? But real or fake doesn't matter. I'm leaving soon. None of this has anything to do with me. After a night of hasty preparation, this wedding opens in the hotel ballroom. Though said to be fake, both the scale and guests are at the highest level. I sit alone in the corner, facing scrutinizing gazes from all directions, maintaining a calm expression throughout. The wedding music plays. I watch with my own eyes as Emma Morgan takes Tyler Nash's hand, slowly walking onto the stage. She hands him to Sophie Lane, comfortable amid the applause and blessings of the entire hall, calmly proceeding with the ceremony. I sit alone in the corner, a large floral arrangement concealing my figure. I don't know how long passes. I'm awakened by hearty laughter. That's right. I just faked a cancer diagnosis, paid off a few doctors, and they believed it immediately. The voice gradually becomes clearer. I just open my eyes, looking straight at Tyler Nash walking over. In an instant, Tyler Nash immediately hangs up, his face flashing with panic. Then quickly pretending nothing happened. What are you doing here? Did you hear anything just now? I look at him, face cold. I didn't hear anything. So what if I heard? Even if I told them, they wouldn't believe me. With that, I don't care about Tyler Nash's reaction. Standing up to leave, Tyler Nash naturally isn't reassured. Panicking and worrying all day. But doesn't see me tell on him. This calm reaction, instead, makes him even more uneasy. He thinks all night, finally feeling he can't just sit and wait. The next day, taking advantage of no one being home, he pours several bottles of alcohol in the hallway. Then lights it. Smoke rises. When the fire is burning fiercest, Tyler Nash cries, calling Sophie Lane. Sophie, where are you? My bedroom is on fire. I can't get out. Come save me quickly. I'm also awakened by the smoke. I call 911. Then go to the bathroom to wet a towel, covering my nose as I run down. Just reaching the stairs, I bump into Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane. Rushing in, the two panic, not seeing my figure obscured by smoke. Running upstairs like mad women. The fire burns fiercely, even wooden beams falling down. They don't retreat, both running toward the master bedroom like drunkards. A few minutes later, I watch their figures, shielding Tyler Nash as they rush out. My fingers unconsciously clenching into fists. My bedroom is right next to the stairs. But from start to finish the two don't even glance. As if they've forgotten. I'm still in the house. Firefighters quickly arrive to extinguish the fire. Also listing the cause. Hearing the 4 words, deliberate arson. Tyler Nash, nestled in Sophie Lane's arms crying nonstop, raises his head, eyes red. Face desperate looking at me. Ryan, I know my marriage to Ms. Lane makes you unhappy. But I just wanted to fulfill my wish. If you don't want it, the wedding can be cancelled. Why did you lock me in the room and try to burn me to death? In an instant, all shocked and confused gazes pour onto me. My heart sinks, raising my head to explain. But Emma Morgan slaps me hard. I thought you were just selfish. Didn't expect you now to be so deranged. You could do something this unconscionable. Ryan, have you forgotten the uniforms our parents wore? They taught us to be upright and honorable people. Are you worthy of them? The slap rings out. My face burns red. All unspoken words freeze at my lips. This is the first time in 23 years Emma Morgan has hit me. Striking me without distinguishing right from wrong for an outsider. I look straight at the person before me. Emotions surging in my heart. Lips and teeth trembling uncontrollably. Sophie Lane helps Tyler Nash stand up, looking at me with eyes full of disappointment. This wedding was arranged by me from start to finish. Tyler was still worried about your feelings. Advised me many times to call it off. I only organized it after you agreed. Why are you being two-faced? Even if you have anger to settle, you should take it out on me, not target a terminally ill patient. Facing Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's uncontrollable anger, I only feel unable to breathe. Opening my mouth to take a deep breath, barely pulling back my nearly lost rationality. The firefighters only investigated that someone deliberately set the fire. They didn't say I set this fire. You two just listened to him alone and conclude it was me? Second, I know my parents were police officers. I, Ryan Morgan, am upright and honorable. I don't do anything unworthy to anyone, even less do anything against ethics and morality. Third, I don't care at all whether the wedding is real or fake. As for terminal illness, seeing me explain forcefully word by word, blinded by anger, Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane both gradually calmed down. Hearing terminal illness, Tyler Nash panics endlessly, afraid they'll know the truth. His body collapses. This sudden incident throws them into chaos, with no time to hear my explanation. Before leaving, Emma Morgan calls the butler over, voice colder than December frost. Lock the young master in the South Hills villa, and tell he apologizes to Tyler. Without my permission, no one is to let him out. Looking at their departing backs, I open my eyes saying only one sentence, the 99th time. 5 days locked in the villa. I don't leave my room once. Besides 3 meals delivered on time to the door. No one comes to visit me. Time passes day by day. Quickly reaching the day Captain Taylor and I agreed upon. Early morning, as I'm thinking what violent method to use to escape back to the squad, I suddenly hear commotion from downstairs. It's Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane bringing Tyler Nash back. Not long after, the door locked for days opens. The two enter with cold faces. Seeing my icy expression, their tone finally softens. Tyler has forgiven you and promised not to pursue your fault. Don't do this again in the future. Sophie and I can understand your impulsiveness, but can't tolerate you doing unconscionable things. I say nothing, turning to go downstairs. Tyler Nash is waiting in the living room. Seeing me, he pitifully speaks. Ryan, what happened before was my fault. I apologize to you. Hearing this, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan both frown. The one who should apologize to you is Ryan. Tyler, you don't need to humble yourself like this. I ignore them, changing shoes, preparing to go out. Emma Morgan suddenly has a bad premonition, hurriedly pulling me back. What are you going out for? I turn to look at her, smiling mockingly. Today is our parents' death anniversary. Have you forgotten? The wind on the mountain is strong, blowing my clothes fluttering. I set down the chrysanthemum bouquet in my hands, kowtowing hard several times before the gravestone. Seeing blood seeping from my forehead, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan both feel somewhat reluctant, hurriedly pulling me up. That's enough. Our parents know your heart. No need to kowtow so sincerely. You being healthy, our parents in heaven would be happy. Don't do self-harming things anymore, be good. Tyler Nash beside them seeing this also bows down to kowtow, crying out in pain. In an instant, both women let go, turning to embrace him in their arms, eyes full of heartache. Ryan, kowtowing is right, but Tyler doesn't need to kneel with you. Tyler Nash blinks, squeezing out a few tears. I know Uncle and Aunt Morgan are great heroes. Also know Ms. Lane considers me her brother. In my heart, I'm already part of the Morgan family. So this kowtow must be done. Seeing his sensible manner, Emma Morgan sits up straight. Her gaze at me becomes complex again. Sophie Lane also sighs, bending down to dust off his knees, discovering the blood on his forehead flowing more and more, hurriedly going down the mountain for bandages. Emma Morgan also heartaches endlessly, remembering there's disinfectant in the car. Hurrying along, very quickly, only Tyler Nash and I remain in the cemetery. Without others around, Tyler Nash no longer pretends to be weak, arrogantly beginning to provoke. Ryan Morgan, the two women who love you most, now only listen to me. Are you suffering unbearably? So what if you're a rich young master? Still losing to me. I don't pay attention. Throwing paper into the fire, speaking softly. Mom, Dad, I've decided to inherit your will. From now on I won't exist in this world. But I believe you'll definitely understand my choice. Bang! The blazing fire is kicked over by Tyler Nash. Sparks fly out, burning my hands with red spots. I can't hold back anymore. Stepping forward to slap him hard. Tyler Nash, are you sick? I'm warning you, stop provoking me. Otherwise, I'll expose everything you've done. Tyler Nash seems not to expect me to strike directly. After the anger comes cold laughter. Go ahead and expose. I'm telling you, no matter what you say they won't believe it. He's not wrong about this. So this time I won't say anything. I look at him coldly, turning to leave. Tyler Nash chases after, grabbing my hand. Ryan, don't be so cruel. I'm telling you, I hate this expression of yours most. So what if you're a young master? Soon enough, your sister and girlfriend will both be mine. Just wait and see if you don't believe me. I want to pull my hand away. Tyler Nash grips tighter and tighter. The two of us struggle, losing balance, rolling down the steep stairs together. I'm underneath, my head hitting straight into the wall. Fresh blood flowing down through my hair. The intense pain makes my vision go dark. Fingers touching the wound, only feeling a handful of sticky iron smell. Spirit dissipated, my body exhausted. I can only lie in the pool of blood, gasping. As my vision gradually clears, I hear two worried voices. Tyler, How did you roll down the stairs and get hurt? And bleeding so much. Does it hurt badly? Don't be scared, I'll take you to the hospital immediately. Tyler Nash sobs in pain. Tears falling profusely. After you left, Ryan blamed me for organizing the wedding with Ms. Lane. Said he'd teach me a lesson. Then pushed me down. Hearing this, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's faces darken. As if about to drip water. They coldly look at the person lying on the ground. Unable to bear it anymore. Time after time. Ryan Morgan, when will you stop causing trouble? Doing this before our parents' graves. Aren't you afraid they'll see? Ryan Morgan, you really disappoint me. I'm warning you one last time. If you hurt Tyler without reason again, I, Emma Morgan, will consider I don't have this brother. Looking at them protecting Tyler Nash. The last light in my eyes also extinguishes. I look at the ground stained red. With my blood, forcing out a few words from my throat. Answering them. The 100th time. As you wish. The two women frown. Not understanding my meaning. But they're worried about Tyler Nash's injuries. So don't ask further. The two support Tyler Nash leaving. Before going, only leaving one cruel sentence echoing in the wind. You stay here and reflect carefully. When you come to your senses, then we'll take you home. Looking at their hurried departing figures, I shake my head with difficulty. Voice too small to hear. Not coming back. Never coming back again. Warm tears flow down my cheeks then gradually dry, leaving no trace. When the bleeding stops, I finally recover some strength. Struggling down the mountain, dark red blood leaves a long trail on the stairs. A car is parked at the foot of the mountain. Captain Taylor, who's been waiting immediately, smells the blood on me with alarm, hurrying forward to support me. What happened? I shake my head, voice hoarse. It's nothing. Just fell. Today is the staged death, right? Seeing no obvious wounds on me, Captain Taylor doesn't suspect further. Nodding, turning to look at me. His voice becomes extremely serious. Comrade Ryan Morgan, welcome to the Secret Operations Special Forces team. From today, all your previous identity information will be erased. You have no name, no identity, but you are a hero respected by everyone. Badge number 014890 officially reactivated. Salute. I slowly raise my hand in salute. Eyes firm as mountains. Loyal and unyielding, unwavering in purpose. The car door closes. A fake corpse wearing identical clothes is thrown on the road. A speeding truck drags it along, slowly grinding it into meat paste. Not a single intact piece of skin can be found. After a preliminary check on Tyler Nash, confirming he's not injured, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan both breathe a sigh of relief. The doctor beside them looks at the medical report, voice full of confusion. Since there's no wound, then why so much blood? Was anyone else injured at the scene? Hearing this, both women picture me lying in a pool of blood, eyelids twitching. But this thought only flashes by, quickly erased by Tyler Nash's words. After I fell, Ryan took a bag of plasma and poured it on the ground. Also fell down. The blood was left then. The doctor looks at him in surprise, about to refute, when he sees Emma Morgan nodding with a dark face. He indeed isn't doing this for the first time. Tyler, don't worry. I'll definitely get justice for you. Tyler Nash sheds tears of emotion. Sophie Lane gently rubs the bruises on his body, constantly comforting. After he rests, the two women leave the ward, stopped by the doctor waiting at the door. Ladies, I've tested the blood on this patient. It's not plasma, it's human blood. I suggest you quickly bring the other injured person for examination. Better to avoid complications. So much blood, not plasma, also not Tyler Nash's. Could it really be Ryan Morgan's? The two women's hearts sink. About to go back to ask Tyler Nash what exactly happened, they hear the man who's fallen asleep laughing, voice full of gloating. You don't know how miserable he was. Tricked by me like a dog running in circles. A few days ago when I set the fire, he got slapped, locked up for days. Today fell until his head split and bled. Not a single person cared about him. You think he died at the cemetery? Bang! The door is kicked open. Tyler Nash trembles in fear, phone falling to the ground. He looks at the two women returning. Mind blank. Sister Morgan. Sister Sophie, why did you come back? The two women's faces are dark as if about to drip water. Striding to him, Emma Morgan grabs his collar, pulling him up, loudly questioning. You set the fire? The blood was Ryan's? Why did you lie? Sophie Lane's eyes gather dark clouds. No longer gentle as before. We've treated you well. Why did you frame Ryan with lies? Under intense pressure, Tyler Nash panics, still pretending ignorance. What are you talking about? How could I do such things? Once suspicion sprouts, it grows wild like weeds. Remembering everything that's happened recently, the two women look at each other, both seeing doubt in each other's eyes. Looking at the pitiful face before them, Sophie Lane no longer feels sympathy. Calling the nurse over, scheduling a full-body examination. First item being oncology. Tyler Nash's face immediately turns pale, shaking his head repeatedly, voice full of refusal. Sister Sophie. I'm fine. No need for examination. If you're worried about me, let's go to Harmony Hospital for the check? His panicked appearance immediately awakens Emma Morgan. She stares at him intently, almost grinding her teeth. Early-stage cancer can be checked anywhere, right? Why must it be Harmony Hospital? Can't this hospital do it? Tyler Nash's lips tremble non-stop, but can't say a word. Tears fall like broken pearls, but no one wipes them for him anymore. He's forcibly taken by nurses to the examination room. Half an hour later, the test results come out. After examination, we confirm Mr. Nash is very healthy, with no cancer condition, though they'd already guessed. Actually hearing this result, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan still can't breathe. The two clearly collapse, powerlessly slumping into chairs, eyes no longer holding their former liveliness. The cancer was fake. The blood from the fall was mine. The fire was set by Tyler Nash himself. Then the kidnapping, car accident, paint splashing, haircutting. Remembering everything that happened over the past year, the two women only feel absurd. Voices full of confusion. If everything was Tyler Nash's self-directed performance, then have we been wronging Ryan? If it's all false accusations, then why didn't Ryan speak up? Emma Morgan's words suddenly stop midway. The two unanimously remember the scene each time something happened, both falling silent. Each time they arrived, they just happened to see Tyler Nash being scolded, being hurt. Are there really so many coincidences in the world? Thinking this, Sophie Lane suddenly panics. She takes out her phone to check the time, discovering it's already 5 p.m. 5 hours since they left the cemetery. During that time I haven't made one call, one message. Could Ryan Morgan be seriously injured and unconscious? Or truly angry, not wanting to talk to them? Emma Morgan also tenses up, hurrying to contact me, but calling continuously over 10 times. The other end is always off. By the 28th call, Sophie Lane finally can't sit still. Standing to go to the parking lot, Emma Morgan follows. The two drive back to the villa first. Hearing from the butler he hasn't seen me all day. Their hearts beat faster. Panicking, they rush to the cemetery. Midway they receive a call from the police. Ms. Morgan, we've caught the suspects in the kidnapping case. They've confessed. This kidnapping was directed by someone named Tyler Nash. Do you have time to come to the station for identification? This news, to Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan right now, is no different than lightning on a clear day. They didn't expect Tyler Nash to be this insane. They clearly gave him so much trust and love. Why would he do these divisive things? Emma Morgan pounds the steering wheel hard. Only one thought in her mind. Go back to the hospital to settle accounts with Tyler Nash. Though Sophie Lane is also furious, she maintains basic rationality. Find Ryan first. It's so cold. I'm worried about his safety. Emma Morgan nods vigorously, accelerating. In the thick darkness, outside Cloud Peak lights flash intermittently. Like daytime, police sirens wailing continuously, making Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane uneasy. Seeing the police tape, both realize something's happened. After parking they rush over, wanting to see what occurred. Before getting close they're stopped by police. There's been a car accident ahead. Police are investigating. This road is temporarily closed. Please turn back. Each word like thunder, ringing in Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's ears. The two women stand frozen in place, both showing disbelief. Emma Morgan's throat moves several times, difficultly speaking. We're here looking for someone. My brother went to visit graves today. Still hasn't returned. The officer keenly senses something wrong. He takes out his phone, opening the photo album, showing them photos just taken from the scene. Was your brother wearing a black coat today? Seeing the torn black coat pieces reassembled on screen, the familiar white chrysanthemum pin on the chest, Emma Morgan's vision goes dark. Sophie Lane hurries to support her, heart pounding like drums, hands gripping each other tightly, holding onto the last illusion, asking further. Where did you find these clothes? Ryan. Where is Ryan? The officer sighs heavily, gently shaking his head. Your brother had a car accident this afternoon. He's passed away. My condolences. Passed away? How is that possible? This afternoon when they left the cemetery he was still fine. Still talking to them. Just half a day. How could he be gone? Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane, no matter what, cannot accept this result. The two, like mad women, tear through the police tape, rushing in, wanting to overturn this truth. But when they push through the crowd, lifting the white cloth to see the mangled flesh beneath, they finally completely collapse. The two proud young ladies in front of others, now wailing like children, their heart-wrenching cries piercing the long silent night, echoing through mountains and forests, lingering endlessly. When waking to see the pure white wall, Sophie Lane feels like she just had a nightmare. She dreamed I died. But how could such a good person have an accident? She keeps shaking her head, wanting to drive this thought from her mind. But just turning her head, seeing Emma Morgan curled in the corner, face numb, she feels choked, unable to breathe. The bad feeling, slowly being driven away, gradually takes root and sprouts within. Her lips tremble, urgently wanting to speak to confirm this is just a dream. The ward door is pushed open. Several officers holding files enter. Ms. Lane, Ms. Morgan. Through the forensic report, we've confirmed the victim in this accident is indeed Mr. Ryan Morgan. The two women raise their heads together, red eyes screaming non-stop. Impossible. We saw Ryan yesterday. He was perfectly fine. How could something happen? My parents were police officers. My brother went to police academy. He's different from ordinary people. He can't be dead. The young officers fear they'll panic and faint again, hurrying forward to comfort them. The officer in charge of the case pushes up his glasses, waiting for them to calm down before telling the specific situation. We checked the cemetery cameras. Found Mr. Morgan fell from a height, his head bleeding. You only rescued the other person and left. He was alone at the cemetery, lying for over an hour before going down the mountain. But due to excessive blood loss, he lost consciousness on the road, was dragged by a truck to his death. Just hearing this description, Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane can already imagine how horrific the scene was. The police show several photos taken from the cameras, seeing the blood trails on the stairs and the unconscious figure on the road. Emma Morgan cries in agony. Sophie Lane grips the photos tightly, her gaze already scattered. In her mind she keeps replaying yesterday noon, when supporting Tyler Nash leaving the cemetery, turning back for one last look. I was lying in a pool of blood, not moving, silent without a sound. That moment she had the thought to go back and take me away, but ultimately didn't turn around. So this separation, this glance became the last. Despite the police searching with all their might, they only recovered 60% of the body tissue. Looking at the report stating, severely dragged and crushed, unable to identify facial features, Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane's blood freezes. They can't imagine what pain I suffered before death. Bones broken piece by piece, flesh scraped and ground to pulp. Not a single intact piece of skin on the whole body. Pain piercing to the bone spreads from the heart outward, making them not want to lie from the agony. These past days they've cried until no tears remain. Can't cry anymore. Can only grip their blood-marked hands tightly, fantasizing about using pain to cure pain. Seeing their state, The coroner sighs, handing them a document. The body is severely damaged. I advise you to cremate soon. Let the deceased rest in peace. Emma Morgan's hands tremble, signing her name in the family section. After writing the last stroke, she feels the breath that sustained her until today also dissipates completely. Sophie Lane beside her stares blankly at the white cloth. Eyes dim without light. The room is silent as death. After an unknown time, the secretary enters, quietly reporting. Ms. Lane, Ms. Morgan. What you asked us to investigate is clear. We took photos of Mr. Nash and Mr. Morgan to ask the Earthquake Rescue Organization. They said, the one who risked everything to save people that year was Mr. Morgan. At that time, the organization's people all thought there were no survivors in that area. But he insisted on digging through the rubble. Digging alone in the area for 2 days before rescuing you. Finally collapsed from exhaustion. Recuperating for a long time. This news is like a blade, stabbing into Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's hearts. The two were shocked for a moment. Faces haggard without a trace of color. Turns out their lifesaver was never Tyler Nash at all, but the one they repeatedly favored against and hurt multiple times, Ryan Morgan. In an instant, their hearts feel burned by fire. Extremely tormented, the shocking news doesn't stop. We also investigated the thugs who splashed paint before. They confessed everything was directed by Tyler Nash. Even the previous mugging, bar harassment were all self-directed performances. These belated truths, in the already determined tragic reality, are so absurd and ridiculous. Their self-righteous gratitude was actually repaying kindness with revenge. Being hurt time after time by the closest, most trusted sister and girlfriend. How disappointed and pained Ryan Morgan must have been. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane dare not think further. Guilt and regret crash over them like waves, completely drowning them before my corpse. The two say sorry for the first time. I'm sorry. Ryan, you're the one I watched grow up. How could I suspect you'd do those things? You must really hate me, right? I shouldn't have left you at the cemetery, causing you to die tragically in that desolate place. Mom and Dad in heaven must be heartbroken. That day I should have taken you with us. You were clearly the one hurting most. Why did I leave? I said I'd take care of you for life, yet hurt you the deepest. I'm sorry. Time after time, desperate crying echoes in the room, but no one answers. My grave is chosen at South Mountain Cemetery. This place is near the Martyrs Cemetery. The environment is quiet. Few people pass by. On the burial day, Emma Morgan holds the urn. Sophie Lane carries the portrait, climbing the mountain in light rain. Besides a small portion of Morgan family members attending the funeral. The rest are my old classmates. Seeing the photo now black and white, everyone can't believe. How could such a good person suddenly be gone? Because the death news came so suddenly. Everyone's mood is heavy. Can't help wanting to ask what exactly happened. I saw Ryan just a month ago. I invited him to my wedding in 2 months. He already agreed to come. Why am I hearing it was a car accident? Emma, what exactly happened? We watched Ryan grow up. Uncles will be honest. He's your blood brother. Dying so young, as his sister. Why didn't you prepare a farewell? Facing everyone's questions and accusations, Emma Morgan kneels on the ground, kowtowing hard several times to the elders. Voice full of sorrow. It's me who didn't fulfill my duty as a sister. Fulfill my responsibility, it's me who killed Ryan. If I hadn't been unreasonably angry with him, nothing would have happened to him. He wouldn't have fainted on the road and had a car accident. Sophie Lane, guilty in her heart, also can't bear the pressure. Kneeling before the gravestone. I'm also at fault. I disappointed Ryan. I shouldn't have believed Tyler Nash's one-sided story. When he was suffering most, struggling most, I still stood aside. I don't deserve to be his girlfriend. Hearing the two's agonized repentance, everyone falls silent. The Morgan family elders sigh, looking at them with only endless disappointment. Emma, your parents died early. Ryan was raised by you alone. He's been understanding and obedient since childhood, keeping everything inside, only afraid of worrying you. I thought as his sister you'd understand. Your brother, but how could you be so foolish? Ryan was such a kind child. For an outsider, you hurt him like this. Sophie, how did you become like this? Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's complexions gradually wither. Light rain falls intermittently. Mourners come and go. The sky gradually darkens. The two still refuse to leave. Looking at the face framed on the gravestone, the two suddenly panic. This photo is still from when I was 18. They personally took my coming-of-age photo. Back then Emma Morgan's career was flourishing. The young couple's feelings were passionate. The three moved into a new villa, looking forward to happiness within reach. They thought all hardships had ended. The future would be smooth sailing. Unexpectedly, in just a few years, everything became moon in water, flowers in a mirror. The culprits who destroyed all the beauty were themselves. If they could have firmly stood by me, if they had been more patient finding the truth, if they had cared about me more, everything would be different. But there are no ifs in this world. No regret medicine either. The endless apologies and infinite guilt all accumulate in their hearts, becoming pain they can never let go. On the 7th day locked in the psychiatric hospital, Tyler Nash is tortured nearly insane. He hasn't had a full night's sleep. Every time he wakes, he faces torture from the whole room. The psychiatric patients force food into his mouth, deliberately slam his head against walls, use small stones to cut his hands. Wounds large and small, new and old overlap. Even his face is covered with burn blisters. Looking at the inhuman face in the mirror, Tyler Nash is on the verge of collapse. He takes advantage of everyone sleeping, sneaking to the door knocking for help. But whether nurses or staff, all act like they don't see, ignoring him. Here no one pays attention to a madman's cries for help, especially a madman ordered from above to receive special care. So, even though Tyler Nash screams until his throat nearly smokes, he receives no response. Finally he despairs too, collapsing on the ground, eyes once bright now bloodshot, covered with exhaustion and despair. The weather is freezing. Exposed limbs quickly turn purple from cold. Wounds not yet healed ooze pus. He hears footsteps from upstairs. The extinguished terror reignites. Awake, they're all awake. The nightmare is about to descend again. Tyler Nash curls in the corner, whole body trembling uncontrollably. Just when he's most terrified, two shadows loom over him. He looks up at two familiar faces, immediately hugging their legs crying, "I know I was wrong. Sister Morgan, Sister Sophie, I shouldn't have harmed Ryan. I promise you, this will absolutely never happen again. Since I once saved you, please forgive me. Tomorrow I'll leave the city. I'll never appear before you again. I swear." Seeing Tyler Nash, the two only feel disgust. Emma Morgan kicks him hard, without any mercy. Sophie Lane's gaze at him is colder than December frost. She dangles keys in her hand, voice extremely cold. "Want to leave? Fine. Answer a few questions. As long as you tell the truth, we'll give you the keys. If there's one lie, then you stay here for retirement." Hearing this, Tyler Nash rekindles hope in his heart. Hurrying to show attitude, I'll tell everything. Just please forgive me. We treated you wholeheartedly. Why did you drive a wedge between us and Ryan?" Tyler Nash trembles, instinctively wanting to lie, but seeing two gazes wanting to devour him alive, he doesn't dare fabricate anymore, pouring out his heart. I was just jealous he had people who loved him. I wanted to be like him too. A successful rich young master living comfortably. That's all, just for this bit of selfishness. Causing Ryan to die tragically? Sophie Lane clenches her fists, nose stinging, eyes closing. You got what you wanted. So why keep framing him time after time? I just lacked security. I wanted to prove I was more important than him in your hearts. Every time you had to choose. Seeing you protect me, those were the happiest moments of my life. I finally knew I was also worthy of love. Every word, like cold arrows, piercing Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane's hearts. The unbearable past becomes an abyss they can never cross. Complex emotions surge in their hearts, making them unable to stay calm. Before the test, they ask the final question. All this time, Do you repent for what you've done? Repent? Hearing this word, Tyler Nash's eyes quickly flash with confusion. He doesn't understand why they know the truth, yet ask this meaningless question. What use is repentance? Tyler Nash doesn't think so. But under survival instinct stimulation, he still squeezes out 2 tears. Of course, I truly regret it. I shouldn't have harmed Mr. Morgan. Though he wasn't as good to me as you. But, you're lying. This time Emma Morgan finally sees through Tyler Nash's shameless lies. She can't help raising her fist, venting all the rage and pain in her heart on him. Punch after punch, screams of agony, echo endlessly in the long dark hallway. Sophie Lane watches coldly, not saying a word, after Emma Morgan decisively stops. She looks at the beaten, unrecognizable person, throwing the keys in her hand, into the drain outside. For not being honest, you can stay here and wait to die. Watching his only lifeline blocked, Tyler Nash stops acting even through dizziness. He struggles to crawl up, face covered in blood, expression full of hatred. Why? Why should I suffer torture here, while you live high-class lives? Why should I repent? Clearly you're too stupid. Such a simple game. I played it so many times and you never realized. Ha ha ha. If not for your indulgence, how could I freely frame him? All the suffering he endured. You and I are both perpetrators. The bloody truth laid bare. Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan are both stunned, unable to breathe despite trying. They stare at him intently, eyes wanting to spit fire, but refusing to acknowledge this truth. You exploited our regret and gratitude, deliberately driving wedges. If not for you, how would we wrongly accuse Ryan? You're the main culprit, you madman. If I'd known you were this venomous snake, I absolutely wouldn't have helped you back then. Since you have no remorse, then wait for retribution. At this point, Tyler Nash knows everything is beyond redemption. His heart has no more fear. Laughing maniacally. Retribution? I've never believed in retribution. Even if there is retribution, Emma Morgan, Sophie Lane, you think you can escape? I'm all alone. At most I'll die. What about you? I curse you to lose your loved ones forever and ever, never finding peace in the next life. These crazy words, falling on Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane's ears now, like pouring oil on fire, rubbing salt in wounds. They can't control their grief and anger. Calling staff over. Make Tyler taste all the pain I've endured. The man's screams echo in the air. But the two's pain isn't relieved at all. They understand better than anyone. No matter how they repent, no matter how they take revenge, Ryan Morgan will never return. They'll never have a chance to make amends. The night completely swallows the two's haggard, lonely figures. In the quiet car, only rapid breathing remains. Though leaving the psychiatric hospital, the curse, losing loved ones forever and ever, still echoes in their ears. Emma Morgan closes her eyes, hands in sleeves trembling non-stop. Sophie Lane covers her face, tears sliding through her fingers. Bone-piercing pain crashes over like a raging storm. People say time fades pain, but this saying has no effect on Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan. Day after day, all memories of me instead become clearer. In the tortuous flow of time, the burned villa has been rebuilt. Both have moved back. The room's furnishings all remain intact. The rose garden replanted. The cat sent away also brought back. Everything seems unchanged. But everyone knows everything has changed. The boy who used to sit on the balcony brewing tea, reading books. The boy who thunder or lightning couldn't stop from running 5 kilometers in the yard. The one who made love breakfasts for his sister and girlfriend will never return, having lost the most important person. The villa, once full of laughter, gradually becomes cold. Sophie Lane locks herself in her room, not leaving for months. Emma Morgan drinks daily, never sober. The two occasionally meet at my grave, always silent without words. Winter passes and spring arrives. Small chrysanthemums on the grave wither then bloom. On my 25th birthday, the two sit at South Mountain all day before descending. On the way back, Emma Morgan asks in a low voice, "I want to visit our parents. Will you come?" Sophie Lane's throat moved slightly, eyes flashing with complex emotions. Before, when the Morgan siblings went to the martyrs' cemetery yearly to tend graves, she always went along. But since I passed away, just thinking of that cemetery, she feels trapped in a nightmare. Hard to escape. The torn black coat and white cloth, the bloody mangled flesh beneath, become shadows she can't dispel. So she hasn't set foot there once. But today somehow, she suddenly really wants to go see. So she nods lightly, voice too small to hear. Today is Ryan's birthday. Uncle and aunt probably want cake too, right? Looking at the cake missing a piece, Emma Morgan's heart aches. She swallows the pain no one knows. Heading to the martyrs' cemetery. Arriving at 4:30 p.m. Staff preparing to leave work. Somewhat impatient, muttering, "Why come to tend graves this late? So many strange people." One thing after another. Sophie Lane lowers her eyes. Voice sorrowful. "Just came from South Mountain. We'll go down quickly. Sorry to trouble you." Hearing South Mountain, the manager shows understanding on his face. Saying nothing more, the two enter deep into the cemetery one after another. Winter is freezing. Darkness falls early. Visibility somewhat dim. From a distance, both see someone before the grave, kneeling on the ground, though can't see the face clearly. Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's hearts both skip a beat. They both feel this person resembles Ryan Morgan. The person they yearn for day and night appearing. Whether reality or illusion, shocks both deeply. They can't control surging emotions, both quickening their pace chasing after. Tall trees in the cemetery block the view. The two change from walking to running. When they arrive panting before the grave, that person has vanished. Only the chrysanthemum bouquet placed before the gravestone still proves what they just saw wasn't an illusion. Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan look at each other, both seeing certainty in each other's eyes. They unanimously follow the other path, chasing all the way to the parking lot, but seeing no one, only a solitary car parked at the entrance. Neither wants to give up, both rushing to knock on the car window. A few seconds later the window rolls down, revealing a familiar face. The just-born illusion extinguishes again. Emma Morgan forces a smile, choking up. "Captain Taylor, what are you doing here?" After a few brief sentences sending them away, Captain Taylor looks at the person in the backseat sighing. "The operation is over, though your identity still needs to be kept secret. Emma is after all your blood sister. You really won't meet her once, explain everything?" I shake my head lightly, pulling the hood over my head, voice emotionless. "I'm already dead. The one living is James Chen. Let the past people and matters pass." Hearing this, Captain Taylor finally can't help wanting to get to the bottom. "You and Emma. Sophie, what exactly happened? Why fake death and cut ties? You went undercover. These 2 years they really thought you died. Still haven't escaped the pain." I know Captain Taylor means well, not wanting me to lose family for work. But for me, from 2 years ago when kidnapped, when Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane both chose to save Tyler, I no longer had a home. My own death for me was both an opportunity to realize dreams and a path to escape the past, be reborn. 2 years living on the knife's edge, the dangerous undercover life by inches, left me no time to care about old matters. Now recalling that dark period, only vague impressions remain, but the regret can't be erased. So no matter what, I won't repeat past mistakes. Captain Taylor, the dead can't come back to life. My identity relates to the entire operation's safety. Absolutely can't be easily revealed. Before greater good, I can't let emotions rule. Besides, even if they know I'm alive, so what? Our work is defusing bombs in forbidden zones. If one day, I really sacrifice like my parents, it's just more grief for them. Better to keep it hidden. Beneficial without harm. Captain Taylor understands my words better than anyone. He doesn't persuade further, handing over house and car keys. Operation Sunshot has ended. Your identity wasn't exposed. Superiors believe your identity still has value. Not recalling you to the team. Deciding to let you continue lying low awaiting opportunity. These are the house and car keys assigned to you. Stay there for now. Maintain single-line contact with me. I'm used to frontline undercover work. Have no objection to this. Captain Taylor drives me home. Gives a few instructions then leaves. I take the keys but don't go home. Going to the convenience store first. Buying many daily necessities. When I come out it's starting to drizzle. I don't use an umbrella. Walking back alone through the alley. The narrow alley entrance empty when arriving. Now stands two people. James Chen doesn't look up. Walking straight through between them without glancing. The moment passing by. Sophie Lane's face full of injury. Can't help reaching to grab my shoulder. So tense her voice trembles. Ryan, I finally look up glancing at her. Face full of dissatisfaction and disgust. Who are you? Let go, don't block my way. The unfamiliar tone, cold gaze, cuts Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan's hearts like knives. But they won't give up any ray of hope. Stubbornly refusing to let go. I know it's you. Ryan, it's me. Don't you recognize me? I'm startled by their agitated manner. Casually throwing down my things. Raising my elbow to strike. The two are pushed back. Several steps by this force. I run off. Both are stunned by this situation. Unconsciously chasing after. Seeing the face completely different from memory. Sophie Lane's words about to emerge. Stick in her throat. The hope just ignited in her heart. Completely extinguishes again in this moment. Eyes fill with haze. Emma Morgan also looks incredulous. Unconscious intuition tells her. The person at the cemetery must be me. She absolutely didn't mistake. The person found after chasing. Besides similar build, whether appearance or personality, all vastly different from her brother. While the two are dazed, the boss has called the police. 10 minutes later police arrive. Taking all four to the station. With police present, I'm not afraid either. Righteously indignant, vividly recounting tonight's events. I just left the convenience store today. Was blocked by these two thugs. They kept saying I'm their brother. Wanting to take me away. I don't need to think. To know they're not good people. Watching me jump and shout. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane's gazes gradually darken. They don't want to admit. But must admit. This person named James Chen isn't Ryan Morgan. Before, no matter how Tyler Nash framed me. No matter how wronged and angry. I was never this rude and disrespectful. Shouting without manners or education. A person's appearance can change. Voice can be disguised. Only personality and temperament absolutely can't have such huge differences. I don't know their current thoughts. After venting satisfyingly, slamming the table. That's what happened. Officer, witnesses and testimony are all here. There must be surveillance cameras too. You must get justice for me. The police record word by word. Turning to look at Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane. What's your situation? We were visiting graves. Saw him paying respects. Thought he was an acquaintance. So chased wanting to ask. Just a misunderstanding. Hearing this I get even more indignant. Throwing knife-sharp glares. Following me so long. Definitely with ulterior motives. These two definitely have bad intentions. Detain them. Must detain them. The police are also getting overwhelmed by my noise. Making silence gestures to calm me down. Continuing to ask. So both sides met at the cemetery? Which cemetery were you visiting? Was it the same person? Emma Morgan's eyes flash. Voice dropping considerably. We went to the Martyrs Cemetery to visit my parents. I still look unruly. Sweet voice, Martyrs Cemetery huh? My old man told me before dying to tend the grave. I finally had time to go once. And got harassed by them. My disrespectful tone ignites Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane's anger. Both looking over with dark faces. I'll say it again. Not harassment. Just mistaken identity. Hearing Sophie Lane's words, I snort several times. Face full of contempt. Mistaken? You kidding? I don't know you at all. You keep calling me brother. Can't even recognize your own brother. Blind. Whoever's your brother has 8 lifetimes of bad luck. These extremely insulting words anger them both. Both stand up. Hands clenched into fists. Watch your mouth. Ryan isn't some lowlife scum like you can compare to. When both sides are about to argue, Captain Taylor finally arrives. clarifying everything is just a misunderstanding. Because of his respect, the police don't pursue it either. Waving us off, he leads the three of us out of the police station. I keep muttering. Why make a big deal small? And a small deal nothing? They're clearly two bitches. I say they should be arrested. Captain Taylor looks at me helplessly, his voice turning serious. Let things go when you can. Since it's been clarified as a misunderstanding, let it be. It's late anyway. Go home quickly. With that he hails a taxi, stuffing the still complaining person inside. Watching the car drive away, Captain Taylor turns to look at Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan, face wearing a gentle smile. Just a kid with a temper. Don't be angry with him. Seeing the comrade my parents trusted most. Uncle Taylor, who's taken care of me since childhood. Defending a complete stranger. Emma Morgan feels doubt arising in her heart. Captain Taylor, who exactly is this person? Why did you bring him to tend my parents' graves? Captain Taylor on the way here already anticipated she'd ask this question, giving his prepared answer. The Chen family all make their living fishing. Before your parents sacrificed themselves, they once saved Chen's father's life. He remembered their kindness, still visiting graves these past years. 2 years ago his father died of cerebral hemorrhage, still mentioning this before dying. Chen promised to visit once a year. Today happened to meet me. I gave him a ride. Reasonable and logical. Sounds perfectly plausible. But somehow, both feel something's strange. But exactly what's wrong, they can't figure out. Frowning slightly, Captain Taylor doesn't want them digging deeper. Explaining further. This kid Chen, though impulsive, isn't bad at heart. His family conditions aren't good. Didn't get proper education. Raised by his grandmother since young. Parents both passed these past years. Quite pitiful. For my sake, be magnanimous and don't hold it against him. Hearing this, the two remember my own troubled fate. The anger in their hearts gradually dissipating. Quietly nodding. Captain Taylor knows who they're thinking of. Sighing, patting their shoulders. Ryan's been gone 2 years now. People must always look forward. Don't grieve too much. He has Mr. and Mrs. Morgan caring for him above. Certainly wouldn't want you dwelling on it forever. Clearly meant as comfort. But Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane's mood grows heavier. They raise their heads, looking at the starless night sky covered in dark clouds. Emotions surging in their eyes. If the dead truly have souls. Then Mr. Morgan, Mrs. Morgan seeing them hurt. Ryan time after time, would they be utterly disappointed? Ryan dying tragically. In despair. Will he never forgive them? Moments of sourness and pain like tides. Flooding both their hearts. They don't know what to say. Can only silently turn to get in the car. The whole ride is very quiet. When returning to the villa. Looking at the dark room without lights. Both are stunned. If Ryan were here, seeing us return, he'd definitely run to the balcony. Smiling to greet us, right? Today is still his birthday. But he'll never eat birthday cake again. All night Sophie Lane tosses and turns unable to sleep. In her mind she keeps replaying the figure seen at the martyrs' cemetery. Feeling uneasy. Was that person really not Ryan? James Chen. James Chen. She repeats this name until 6 a.m. Finally unable to resist getting up. Sending a message to her secretary. Outside the window dawn gradually breaks. She goes downstairs wanting to walk outside for air. Just opening the door, she sees Emma Morgan standing in the corner. The two with dark circles look at each other. Emma Morgan casually asks, "Where are you going?" Sophie Lane panics for a moment, not knowing where exactly she wants to go. Just instinctively wanting to escape this prison full of memories. Don't know. Getting some air. With that Sophie Lane drives out, wandering aimlessly. On the road her mind is chaotic, not knowing what she's thinking. When she comes to, she finds herself back at yesterday's alley. This is an old residential area. Many small shops around. The breakfast shop opens early. Steam rising from the steamer. Through the steam Sophie Lane sees me. I leisurely come downstairs wearing a cap, casually throwing trash in the bin. Buying a basket of buns then returning. The whole process takes less than 10 minutes. Sophie Lane is stunned again. After the person leaves, She gets out of the car as if possessed and follows. Passing the trash can, she glances intending to walk on. After 5 steps, her brain sluggish from lack of rest, suddenly activates. She turns back, seeing in the trash bag, with open mouth revealing candles. Her gaze immediately freezes. Yesterday at the police station verifying identity, she saw James Chen's ID showing 23 years old. Home address a small fishing village. Birthday June 19th. Captain Taylor said he's now an orphan. So why buy a birthday cake? In an instant, Sophie Lane feels she's grasped a clue. She rushes upstairs in quick steps. I'm on the 4th floor turning to open my door. When the neighbor happens to come out, the little girl cheerfully greets me. I return the smile. Lily. Thank you for inviting me yesterday. Your birthday cake was delicious. One sentence shatters Sophie Lane's wild speculation. She shows a bitter smile, dejectedly turning to go downstairs, not hearing the little girl's sweet reply. Your cake was good too. We have the same birthday. What a coincidence. Let's celebrate together again. Bending to pat the girl's head, chatting a few words, then returning inside. The moment the door closes, I drop all pretense, breathing a sigh of relief. The fragrant buns fill my hungry stomach. I stretch out on the sofa, remembering Lily's cute expression, introducing the buns, unconsciously showing a smile. Yesterday returning from the police station, I passed a bakery and casually bought one, meeting Lily at the door, also celebrating her birthday. This outgoing little girl instantly pulled me, asking if today was my birthday. Getting an affirmative answer, she insisted on celebrating together. I couldn't resist the neighbors' repeated enthusiastic invitations, so I agreed. In just one night the girl attached to me, knowing I just moved in, even introducing many nearby delicious foods. After dealing with criminal demons too long, just returning to normal life, being able to meet such good neighbors, I'm happy from the bottom of my heart. Regardless of the future, at least right now, I have the peaceful life I dreamed of. For me this is enough. I buy many household items, thoroughly cleaning the house. Due to my special identity, I rarely go out. Even when out I conceal my appearance. Despite such caution, I still discover I'm being followed. My followers happen to be familiar. None other than Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan. Meeting at the cemetery that day. I didn't expect them to find me. To prevent their suspicion, I made a scene at the police station. Afterward Captain Taylor also contacted me, saying they shouldn't suspect. But these past few days, I keep seeing in the window 2 heads peeking from that luxury sports car that doesn't fit this old district. Sometimes when I go out to buy water, I also feel vague stalking gazes. Being undercover for 2 years, to perfectly hide my identity, I learned to act like a thug. I believe Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan don't recognize me. Given this situation, the two must have discovered something, which is why they frequently appear near me. For safety, after careful consideration, I still call Captain Taylor. After discussing countermeasures, I feel at ease. The next few days I stay home. January 18th is the death anniversary of my nominal father James Sr. I get up early to visit his grave at the fishing village. Just finished paying respects when blocked by thugs. Damn it, last time you conned me out of 3,000. Then ran away the next day. Thought you wouldn't dare come back? James Chen, you've got guts. Several people cursing and surrounding me. I glance at them, casually picking up a wooden stick from the ground. Still grinning. What con? Didn't you lose to me? Just 30 rounds. Brother Zhao, you support so many people. Can't even afford to lose this money? Being embarrassed in front of his brothers, Zhao gets furiously angry. He's too lazy to talk nonsense with me, raising his hand to teach me a lesson. The iron rod just raised is stopped by a voice. Everyone turns around, seeing 2 elegant women, looking over coldly. Several grown men bullying one person. Aren't you ashamed? Zhao spits, looking at them defiantly. Who are you? Get lost quickly, or I'll teach you a lesson too. At his command, the thugs and the 2 bare-handed women grapple with each other. Watching the melee before me, I take advantage of the chaos to run directly not hesitating for a second. The fierce fight. Only after 5 minutes do both sides discover this. A lackey looking around slaps his thigh shouting, "Damn it, brother Zhao." The kid ran away. The gang has no time to settle scores with them, aggressively chasing toward the village entrance. The two finally relax, looking at each other's facial wounds. Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane both freeze, only coming to after a moment, realizing I took advantage of their fight, to quietly slip away. Both their faces darken. These past days, the two haven't forgotten the cemetery incident. What happened there? Reason says James Chen isn't Ryan Morgan, but driven by subconscious impulse. They unconsciously follow me. I rarely go out, but just seeing the room with always drawn curtains, their hearts tormented for 2 years, can have momentary peace. They're not looking for evidence James Chen is Ryan, but driving to this old residential area for peace of mind. Seeing lights in the room, both breathe sighs of relief. Emma Morgan opens the window lighting a cigarette. Sophie Lane holds a worn file, carefully studying it. This is material about James Chen collected by the secretary. Clearly a stranger's biography. Yet she's read it countless times. Memorized it. She doesn't know, herself, why she cares about this lowlife. On him, she can't find anything resembling Ryan Morgan. Just looking at these words, what she imagines in her mind is how I looked as a child. This strange state makes her wonder many times if she has mental problems. But hearing Emma Morgan say she occasionally enters this state too, Sophie knows this isn't an illusion. The two specifically consult a psychiatrist. The doctor diagnoses them both with severe depression and offers treatment methods. You two must be mentally disturbed by news of Mr. Morgan's death, then didn't undergo any psychological therapy, so the condition prolonged and worsened. The situation continues deteriorating. At this point, at the location where Mr. Morgan had his accident, you meet someone with similar build. In extreme longing, you'll unconsciously see this Mr. Chen as Mr. Morgan's shadow, thus developing dependency. Though the dead can't return. For your health, I suggest you have more contact with this Mr. Chen. His existence benefits your treatment, can help you step out from the darkness of the accident, opening normal life, remembering the doctor's advice and today's events. Sophie Lane's heart moves, looking at Emma Morgan. Emma, since James Chen helps our recovery, why don't we bring him to us? Perhaps fate has its intentions, letting us meet him, though he's not Ryan. His background is also tragic. Consider it accumulating merit for Ryan. Emma Morgan happens to have the same idea, nodding lightly. This person, though problematic, isn't bad at heart. Since my parents saved his father, I'll give him a hand too. Prevent him going astray later, disappointing my parents' expectations. The two discuss a while longer, then go upstairs together, knocking on the room's door. Knocking for half an hour. No response from inside. Finally the neighbor can't stand it and curses. I finally open a small crack, poking my eyes out, face full of wariness. What more do you want to bother me about? Get lost, or I'll call the police. Just hearing me speak, Emma Morgan gets angry. Sophie Lane quickly pulls her back, patiently replying, "About today. Let's talk?" I glance at them, tone extremely bad. Talk about what? About you stalking me? Then let's go to the police station. See if you can escape this time. With that I'm about to close the door. Sophie Lane, quick-eyed and quick-handed, uses her palm to wedge the door crack. James Chen shows no mercy, forcefully closing the door. Her whole palm immediately bruises, turning blue-black. Emma Morgan, angrily seeing her hurt, can't help shouting, "James Chen, we saved you. Don't be ungrateful. Who asked you to save me? Don't you like meddling? Still want to use this to threaten me? No way." Seeing the two about to argue again, Sophie Lane endures the pain, interrupting. "We're not here to argue. Just want to discuss something with you. If you don't give us a chance, then tomorrow afternoon, those thugs chasing you might find your door." My expression gradually becomes subtle at this sentence. I glare at them fiercely, almost grinding my teeth. "Say it quickly." The two know this means compromise. Sophie Lane wipes cold sweat from her forehead, slowly releasing her hand, voice somewhat weak. Here isn't suitable. Let's go to a tea house. The private room is very quiet. Hearing the request the two make, I show an incredulous expression. Hire me to help you treat illness? I haven't even finished middle school. You want me to treat illness? Are you too crazy? Aren't you afraid I'll kill you? You don't need to do anything. Just move into the villa and live with us. Emma Morgan says this. The suspicion on my face deepens. You think I'm a 3-year-old? With your swindler appearance you can afford a villa? Pie falling from the sky? Crazy. Sophie Lane takes a deep breath, handing over a business card, trying to prove her identity. I don't even look, throwing it in the trash. I can make these too. Emma Morgan directly hands over a bank card, briefly saying there's 8 million in it. I weigh it several times, casually breaking it into pieces. Face full of mockery. Want to use me for money laundering? I won't fall for it. Next the two offer countless conditions. I reject them all. Emma Morgan's patience gradually depletes. Face darkening. What exactly will make you believe? I sip my tea, crossing my legs, casually pointing out the window at the tallest skyscraper in the city. Buy that building. Show your strength first. Days later when they come to my door with the purchase certificate, I still don't care. Making new demands. I heard Cloud Temple is very effective. I haven't been sleeping well lately. You two go help me pray for a peace charm. Remember to be sincere? That afternoon, video of Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan kowtowing step by step, climbing the mountain praying spreads across the internet. Seeing in the video the two with blood on their heads, my gaze slightly moves. Those sealed memories all surge out from the depths. Being falsely accused and criticized without reason. Being abandoned time after time in despair. Tears and blood flowing endlessly. Vividly etched in memory. I press my hand to my chest, feeling my somewhat numb heart. Breathing rapidly, to ease the discomfort in my body. I don't understand. I've made such unreasonable harsh demands. Why won't they give up? Just because you have my brother's shadow on you. This mystical reason? If you care so much, then why, when the person was alive, didn't you cherish them? The person long dead, still wanting to find comfort on an unrelated person. How ridiculous. So, when they bring the hard-won peace charm, I remain unmoved. The item's not bad, but stained with blood. Won't it bring bloody disaster? Forget it. I don't need it anymore. Giving it back. I throw the items back at them, heading upstairs. Emma Morgan angrily grabs my hand. Why do you keep trampling our sincerity time after time? What exactly are you dissatisfied with? I stop, turning to appraise her from head to toe. I'm dissatisfied with you too. Can't you see? Few people make me hate them at first sight like this. These words clearly come from James Chen's mouth. But somehow, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan both feel the person standing opposite is Ryan. Instantly feelings of guilt and pain surge up in their hearts again, like dull knives cutting flesh, torturing them. Both their faces turn extremely pale, hands powerlessly dropping. I don't want to deal with them at all. Turning to go home. Thick night covers down the whole world like an endless abyss. They involuntarily fall into darkness. I originally thought, after saying such hurtful words, the two proud women wouldn't bother me anymore. But things exceeded my expectations. Before, I only saw their shadows every couple days. Now, the two directly by the empty house next door. Moving in. I really don't know what the two are thinking. But I won't compromise because of this crazy behavior. Though Operation Sunshot ended successfully, this bullet has settled. But beneath the calm surface are undercurrents. Maybe next month. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe the next second. This undercover James Chen will be reactivated by the organization. I'm ready to engage in battle anytime. So in front of people, I still play the foul-mouthed thug. Loafing around, facing Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane. I maintain a cold attitude. No matter how I mock, the two still won't give up. Constantly showing goodwill, I treat them as non-existent. Gifts they send I either throw away or give to others. They say they'll find me work. I tell the team I don't want to work. They invite me to travel to relieve stress. I close my door, too lazy to respond. Time passes day by day. I gradually get used to the current life. Also noticing changes in Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane. The two seem addicted to the feeling of rejection. The more they fail, the braver they become. The way they look at me grows increasingly wrong. Sometimes I even hear them accidentally call me by the wrong name. Ryan. I haven't heard anyone call me that in so long. I'm also stunned for a second before quickly returning to normal. After calming my emotions, I rarely turn around, actively saying to Emma Morgan, who called the wrong name, "I'm not any Ryan. If you're sick, see a doctor. Don't go crazy at my place." With that, I close the door and leave, turning around with too large emotion. The necklace I hide in my collar swings out. Seeing the pendant, Emma Morgan's expression immediately changes. If she's not mistaken, the pattern on the pendant and the watch Mother Morgan left, that I treasured, are exactly the same. After the accident, Emma Morgan searched the entire highway and every conceivable place in the house, but couldn't find this watch. Why does James Chen have the same style? Instantly, the illusion she's denied countless times. James Chen is Ryan Morgan appears in her mind again. This time the intuition is stronger than any time before. She strides downstairs, wanting clear proof, but the night is too dark. Emma Morgan can't find my figure, leaving her confused. Excessive excitement suppresses disappointment. She clenches her fists, returning to the 4th floor, preparing to tell Sophie Lane this good news. Seeing my back disappear, I stand up from the crowded late-night diner. Getting in the car parked by the road, door closing, I report recent situations to Captain Taylor, emphasizing Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan may already suspect. After listening, Captain Taylor nods. Deep gaze solemn. "I understand. I'll handle this matter, you don't need to worry." My mood finally relaxes. Tonight's operation begins? Handing me the classified file, Captain Taylor speaks in a low voice. Operation Excellence officially launches at 10 p.m. tonight. Your identity remains the thug James Chen. Code name changes to Winter Shadow. The next day, Sophie Lane and Emma Morgan are awakened by noise in the hallway. Regaining consciousness, the two jump up from the sofa, running to the door without shoes. Just opening the door, seeing people moving things from next door. Both are stunned, hurrying forward to stop them. "Where's James Chen? He's not here. Why are you moving his things?" The landlord glances at them, rolling his eyes. He only rented for 2 months total. Now he's moved out. Of course I need to clean up for new tenants. This news to the two is like lightning striking. They didn't expect in just one night. James Chen vanished right under their noses. Because of that speculation, the two were excited all night, absolutely unable to accept this result, searching everywhere for my whereabouts. But whether landlord or neighbors, everyone knows nothing. In the city's entry and exit records, there's no one named James Chen. He's like a drop of water falling into the ocean, vanishing without trace. One step from the truth. The only person giving them hope vanishes again. This result for Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane is a heavy blow hard to accept. The two return to the state when I just died, haggard and collapsed, deathly depressed, in the pain of shattered hope. They can only rely on constantly emphasizing, "James Chen is me." He just doesn't want them to discover. So he left, too. Barely maintain sanity. This psychological support also with passing time gradually becomes fragile and powerless. The two nearly turn the city upside down. Still can't find James Chen's whereabouts. They can only lock themselves in the small house they've bought, hopelessly waiting for my return. Day after day, the living room gradually fills with wine bottles and cigarette butts. Waking drunk to see the empty room. Sophie Lane's head pounds like hammers. The wine on the table finished. She's unbearably thirsty. Going to the bathroom to turn the faucet. A hair in the corner suddenly catches her attention. Picking it up, examining for ages. Her muddled mind suddenly becomes clear. She wakes Emma Morgan from drunken sleep. The two rush to the hospital. Straight to genetics. Half a day's wait. Every minute torturous. Under adrenaline stimulation, Emma Morgan also contacts someone who might know James Chen's whereabouts. Where is he? Captain Taylor receives the message after work and comes to the hospital. The test results just coming out. Stamped confirming no blood relation. Seeing these words instantly, the last thread in Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane also breaks. Red eyes overflow with tears. Bodies trembling non-stop. The two frantically tear up this paper. Watching paper scraps fly like snow, Captain Taylor's lowered eyes flash with pity. The night I left, he had someone clean the room thoroughly. This hair I deliberately left, just to cut off the last doubt in their hearts. Though this result is too painful for them. But for the operation to proceed smoothly, all sacrifices are worthwhile. Under this belief, the sad emotions instantly vanish. He quickly becomes again the rational cold criminal police captain, coming to them repeating the truth. Emma, Sophie, Ryan died 2 years ago. Don't place your emotions on illusory speculation. You must try to step out. This steady, powerful voice, to Emma Morgan and Sophie Lane, has no comforting effect. The two understand better than anyone. They can never step out. Their world is covered in darkness, never awaiting dawn, and the moon has long fallen. The end.